Hi. I've often said that to get the best effect from a yoga practice, a physical yoga practice, it's better to tense your muscles less rather than more. Now, when I can say that, there's several ways you can interpret it. For example, if you make your fists strong, your biceps strong, your armpits strong, and take out your arms, make everything in your body as tight as possible and hold that for a few seconds and then relax. It didn't really feel like blood was flowing easily through your body when you do this, and what you perhaps noticed was the heart rate started to increase. The heart rate will increase in situations like that because blood flow is constricted. When you tighten all the muscles in your body, anything beyond about 10 to 15% of their maximum contraction, it's a little bit like getting a garden hose and stepping on the garden hose. When you squash a garden hose, pressing on it, the water won't flow. So similarly with your body, if you tighten all the muscles, it will actually stop the flow of blood. It will stop the flow of prana and chitta through the body as well. So as much as you can in your practice, tense the muscles as little as you need to get the desired effect. Now, for example, when you're doing something like a forward bend of the spine, like this, if I bend my spine forward, you can see I'm not bending my hips, I bend my spine. The back becomes longer. At that point, the front of my abdomen, you can see, is quite firm, but the sides don't have to be firm. They're quite soft. And although that may seem a bit unnatural to you, you can see it's the actual natural movement that takes place if you do something like a half sit-up. So here I'm lying on my back, everything's relaxed. But as soon as I sit up, the front of my spine automatically goes firm, the rectus abdominis, but the sides remain completely soft, as you can see. So this is a natural movement. In the beginning, it's very hard to do for most people. So if you're newer to it, one of the ways you can learn this is by simply bending the knees, putting your fingers in a soft abdomen, and then simply lean back a little bit. So push the sitting bones forward, the top of the hips back, and as you do it, if your fingers are in a soft abdomen, you'll automatically feel your abdomen pushes out against the fingers. So then from that position, you can straight away feel the front firm, but the sides very much softer. But the problem is, most people don't feel that. Most people actually feel everything tight. And the reason why everything is tight is because people tend to be a little bit more tense. So if you find when you do that when you lean back, everything is tense, one of the ways you can relieve that tension is by doing simple diaphragmatic or abdominal natural breath. Now, when you hold your tummy with your hands and breathe into the tummy like a baby, you'll feel the tummy expand the same way a baby's belly expands on in-breath. But if you exhale with the tummy relaxed, the air doesn't go fully out. So to exhale all the air out, you need to draw the belly toward the spine like this. Now I'm holding my chest when I do that. If I keep my hand on my chest and I exhale and draw the navel to the spine, my chest doesn't move. So if you want to get this effect, to exhale fully, it mustn't be that exhalation causes chest to lift. Otherwise you're not really exhaling all the air. So keep your hand on the chest, don't let it move. Now draw the abdomen inwards and bring the navel toward the spine, exhaling all the way. If you keep your abdomen firm like this, because it creates a bit of firmness, then try and breathe in to the abdomen. Notice it's very hard to breathe in the abdomen in that position, because muscles work as opposing pairs. Muscle groups work as opposing pairs. And when you switch one muscle on, it causes the opposite muscle to switch off. This is called reciprocal reflex inhibition. So when you breathe into your tummy, which uses the diaphragm, the main muscle, for breathing into the tummy, that will automatically switch off the main muscles that you use to breathe out from the tummy. Now, as I said, if you relax and just simply let the air out, the air will not go fully out. So you have to engage a set of abdominal muscles which will narrow the waist. So here I exhale and I draw my abdomen inwards. And when you draw the abdomen in fully like this without lifting the chest, you've activated your abdominal muscles of exhalation. Now when the abdominal muscles of exhalation have been activated, these draw the navel toward the spine, automatically you get the reciprocal relaxation of your abdominal inhalation muscle, the diaphragm. So then you can't breathe in your tummy and the whole abdomen is kept tense. Now this will mean that the back becomes tense as well, because if you feel what those muscles involve, they involve the use of 3 circular muscles. One is the transverse abdominis, which comes all the way around the back like a belt. Another is the external oblique muscle, which comes along the side like this. Another is the internal oblique muscle, which comes like this. You'll be able to see your external oblique muscle if you tighten these muscles while doing Uddiyana Bandha. So let me show you the external oblique muscle. I will exhale like this, draw my navel in, and I'll do that same action without breathing while my chest is expanded. I'll point to it. I exhale fully and hold the breath out. Then I'm going to expand my chest, like breathing into the chest, but not. Then I'm going to tighten the muscles of exhalation as if I'm exhaling to the tummy, but not exhaling. So hopefully you could see a diagonal muscle, the external oblique muscle, which actually goes all the way around the back of my body. Now that muscle, for most people, will be what is engaged, along with the transverse and internal muscles, when you exhale fully to draw the navel to the spine. If those muscles are always switched on, you'll always feel tense on the side of your abdomen and in your back as well. So if you want to lessen the tension in your back, which is the cause of a lot of back pain, and freely allow energy to flow through your body, which means blood will flow better without your heart racing, then you have to use the muscles of breathing in, the diaphragm. So I bend the knees, I lean back, the front is firm. For me, automatically the sides are soft because I'm constantly breathing naturally into my abdomen. But for you, if you're not able to feel that, hold the front and notice it's firm. Then press your fingers into the sides and simply breathe into your abdomen. And when you breathe into the abdomen, it will automatically relax the muscles of breathing out, and that will feel softer on the sides because they don't need to be used to lean back. Whereas the front needs to be used in this position, so it will not go soft. You can do the same thing in a half sit-up. Here you should automatically feel front firm, side soft. But if you don't, simply breathe into the abdomen. And when you breathe into the abdomen, the front should soften. Better still is when you're lying on your back, begin breathing in the abdomen. And then once that happens, and you feel the breath coming in the abdomen, automatically sit up. And you'll feel the front expand a bit more, but the side shouldn't tense at all. You'll know if you're able to do this if you can talk and freely move your neck. Whereas if you can't talk comfortably, can't move your neck freely, it's because you're probably inadvertently tensing your muscles of breathing out, as opposed to just tensing the front of the abdomen. So basically, tense less in your practice means differentially tense what you don't need. The same muscles that I've used here, I could use in an upward-facing dog pose. You see, this movement's like an upward-facing dog. Here, the front is firm, the sides are softer, and that's pretty much exactly what I'm doing in an upward-facing dog. Here, my front is firm, but my sides are very soft still. That's partly what I mean also by tense less. I didn't need to tense the sides of my body then, so I kept them relaxed. Similarly, in sideways bending poses like Parshva Konasana, here, the left side of my body is firm, the right side is relaxed. And you can see it in this position. If I do the same pose like Parshva Konasana, I start by bending my left knee, I lengthen the back of the body, I lengthen the right side of the body, and then shorten the left. Now you see that posture looks similar to this posture. I've got the back lengthened, the right side lengthened, and the left side's gently contracted. And then what I can feel is my left abdomen becomes firm, but the front is soft, right side is soft. Whereas for most people, either everything's hard or everything's soft. If everything is hard in your practice, blood won't flow. If everything's soft in your practice, often you damage joints. So here I've only had to tense my left side, I didn't need to tense the right side. And that way, I've learned how to tense less and actually make the practice more effective. Now, to finish off, I might point out that it's actually okay to tense everything. Everything in the whole body could be tensed, but only for a short time, because the longer you tense the body for, the less blood's going to flow. But if you tense part or all of the body for a few seconds or a split second, then it will stop the blood for a few seconds and then release the blood and allow it to move smoothly through the body. In the same way, you might, for example, dam up a valley, and the water will build up. But as soon as you release the dam, the water comes shooting through and it cleans out the whole valley. So you can use tension in your body the same way. Tense part of the body, an arm, a leg, a limb, or the whole body, and then release it instantly. And the blood flow will take a cleansing effect through the whole body. But if you tense everything too much, too long, then you'll have an inhibition of blood flow, an increase to the heart rate, and an increase in stress. So generally think, tense less in your practice. Stay more relaxed. This is ahimsa.